serious? Are you serious? They actually did shut the United States government partially down. What? Can I just have a little bit of coffee this morning? Well, here's what report. United States government shuts down for the first time in 17 years as the budget talks fail. The United States federal government is partially shutting down after the Congress failed to fund its work amid a Republican drive to defund Obamacare health care program. President Obama addressed the United States troops to boost their confidence amid the crisis. Now, the Congress left the government without funding as competing and spending measures are bouncing back and forth between the Republican-controlled House of Representatives and the Democratic-led Senate late into Monday night. The partial shutdown will leave some essential government functions, including national security and public safety, intact. It's not clear how long this situation will continue, with lawmakers expected to take a further vote in a matter of hours. But if the shutdown persists, it will affect an estimated 800,000 public workers who will be forced into an unpaid leave, as the government would be unable to fund their employment. Now, national parks and most federal offices are closed, as is almost all of NASA, except for Mission Control in Houston. And then, of course, the Smithsonian museums and the National Zoo and most of the parks, and the website of the U.S. Department of Agriculture went blank, and blah, 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 and most of your monuments. And there was a tweet by the President of the United States. They actually did it, he says. A group of Republicans in the House just forced a government shutdown over Obamacare instead of passing a real budget. That was the tweet from the President of the United States on his Twitter account. Now, the one disturbing thing out of all of this, to be quite honest, is NASA is being completely shut down, except for Mission Control, just to talk to the space station. That means the Hubble telescope, the observatories, everything, the rover on Mars. We got a comet on its way. Comet ISON's on its way, bringing a ton of debris. We've had meteorites crashing through the atmosphere in the last 72 hours. And right now, this is not the time to shut down NASA. Unless you know more about unless the United States federal government knows more about what's getting ready to take place than we do. And they don't want us to see it, maybe, or don't want us to know what it is. I mean, just back in January, Brian Williams of NBC News came on the air live and said this.
We'll remind you as the day gets closer so you can stock up on snacks and beverages, but a comet is coming, a big and brilliant comet arriving in November 2013. It could potentially be 15 times brighter than the moon and visible in broad daylight over the U.S. We will be your Comet Network, and we'll keep you updated.
What does that mean? Was that a little clue? You better stock up on snacks and beverages. Did he mean food and water? And why all the way back in January of this year would the NBC Brian Williams throw that out there at us? He told us exactly. Late November 2013. Well, what's coming late November 2013? Comet ISON. It's when it will be its closest point to the sun. Now, I've got some information. So, right now, today, Comet ISON is supposed to buzz Mars. Really 6.7 million miles from the surface of Mars, but that's still considered buzzing it. That's still going by pretty close. Well, let me give you some information. Comet will buzz Mars in the pre-dawn sky today, Tuesday, October the 1st. Famed Comet ISON will be barnstorming the red planet of Mars, appearing only 2 degrees apart from the planet, just a little more than a width of your thumb at the arm's length. Their proximity is no illusion. However, it is a 6.7 million miles difference will separate the comet from the planet Mars' surface. Also, with the comet still being about the 12th magnitude, you will need at least a 6 to 8 inch mirrored telescope to glimpse at it in the eastern sky just before dawn. And that's what's so amazing about this comet. You'll see it always in the pre-dawn hours in the east, toward where the sun will rise. It will rise in the east just like the Star of Bethlehem did some 2,000 years ago to let us know that a Savior was coming to the world, the Messiah, Jesus Christ, the Son of God. Now, 2,000 years later, the Comet ISON is bringing us another sign. Again, a bright star in the east. 15 times brighter than the moon is what they thought it might be. It may not be that bright, but it will be significantly bright. And it's bringing a ton of debris with it, folks. I mean, and that's what I want to know. What is that debris? We just had a meteorite hit a home in Ohio this weekend, killing 2 people. There were 48 reported sightings of meteorites over Indiana. There were meteorites over, explosive meteorite over top Cincinnati, Ohio. An exploded meteorite over Atlanta, Georgia. Meteorites all over Costa Rica. And down there in other parts of the Caribbean. They're seeing them everywhere. What is going on? Are you serious? Is this what? So it's so convenient. Shut the government down. Shut all the telescopes off, or at least don't show them to the people. I guarantee you they're watching this comet. They're just going to tell you that they shut them down, and we're not going to get to see any of it. I hate to say that, but it's exactly what's taking place right now. Now, the government is also struggling in a lot of other areas, but certainly with NASA saying that its doors are shut, and we will not be released any pictures of whatever's going on with this comet. And this is confusing to a lot of people, very upsetting. I'm getting emails from everywhere from folks saying, Paul, are they deliberately doing this? Is this, well, my answer would be maybe, but it's certainly affecting our ability to watch the skies. And one of the things the Bible said in Luke 21:25, there will be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, distress of nations with perplexity, and the sea and the waves roaring. And men's hearts will even fail them for fear of what's coming upon the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken.
We'll remind you as the day gets closer so you can stock up on snacks and beverages, but a comet is coming, a big and brilliant comet arriving in November 2013. It could potentially be 15 times brighter than the moon and visible in broad daylight over the U.S. We will be your Comet Network, and we'll keep you updated.
Keep looking up, folks. Lift up your head, for your redemption is drawing nigh.